Twitter, Reddit, and the Battlefield community as a whole was ablaze yesterday when they got told that their beloved fast time to kill was getting a nerf in a patch tomorrow, and that they wouldn't really have any opportunity to test that out, give feedback on it, but that they were going to have to live with it and then give feedback afterwards. If they wanted to play with the old time to kill, they would have to return to a select Conquest playlist that would allow them to do so. So in today's episode of Fixing Battlefield, what we're going to be talking about is not only what these changes have brought to the table in terms of what they actually have changed and how it affects gameplay. More importantly, we're going to be talking about some of the positive aspects of these and the largely overweighing negative consequences of this time to kill shift. Unlike in Battlefield 1, regrettably, this is not the patch that everybody's been waiting for, but instead very much the patch everybody has been dreading. Starting off then very simply with the changes that have happened. In the cases of assault rifles, LMGs, MMGs, and SMGs, as well as the semi-automatic rifles, note not the self-loading rifles, there is a small distinction to be made there, the upper body, lower body, upper arm, lower arm, legs, hand, and feet multiplier for damage have been changed from 1 to 0.85. What this means in reality is that the amount of bullets of these weapons to kill or down a full health target at various ranges has gone up, and as such, so has their time to kill. The self-loading rifles have also been affected. There, however, the upper body damage hasn't actually changed. Instead, it's just the lower body, upper arms, lower arms, legs, hands, and of course, feet. To give you a quick idea of what this kind of reduction in damage actually means, for weapons such as the Gewehr 43 or Selbstlader 1916, previous all-range 3-shot kills, you're now actually looking at a 4-shot kill already from 39 meters outwards. The Turner SMLE and the Gewehr 15 are affected even worse and become extremely uncompetitive past, well, anything really in the case of the Gewehr 15, but especially after medium range in the case of the Turner SMLE, when it slips from a 4 to a 5-shot kill already at 68 meters. The assault rifles, LMGs, MMGs, and SMGs have all lost their 4-shot kill in close encounter combat. Instead, they respectively all now start at a 5-shot kill. In the case of the assault rifles, LMGs, and MMGs, this slips up to a 6-shot kill at 50 meters. And in the case of the assault rifles, all the way up to a 7-shot kill at 53 meters, very close to the previous 6-shot kill that assault rifles would be able to pull off after 50 meters. The LMGs and MMGs slip up to a 7-shot kill slightly later at 57 meters, but again, none of these weapon categories previously needed 7 shots to kill at any range when hitting body shots in a full health target. The SMGs are hit in similar fashion. Besides their loss of a 4-shot kill in close quarters, they are now already a 6-shot kill at 15 instead of 25 meters, a 7-shot kill from 32 meters instead of 50 meters, and then an 8-shot kill and even a 9-shot kill, which is just stupid beyond belief. But that being left aside, essentially SMGs are truly the pre-shooters that they were meant to be, according to DICE at least, so it seems. In terms of the self-loading rifles, those will do the same damage as previously mentioned when hitting body shots. But if you hit a body shot and then somebody in the arm or the leg or the lower body, anything but basically the head or the upper body, you'll actually require 3 shots to down your targets. And yes, this is on a weapon that has a maximum fire rate, if upgraded correctly, at 200 rounds per minute and 5 shots in the mag. So balance-wise, absolutely brilliant work there. I don't know how it works out in raw time to kill, but I can tell you that category of weapons just became even less competitive, and that was already pretty hard to actually do. So what do these changes bring in positive things to the table? Well, in terms of being able to react in close encounter combat, in my personal opinion, obviously you can. You have more time now to react to shots in close encounter combat. The problem really is with identifying the actual problem. While it's nice that we can react in close encounter combat or have a little bit more time to react now, the 1-frame deaths are generally to be either be blamed on netcode, or if it's not netcode, it's usually double headshots. And because the headshot multiplier hasn't actually changed, you can still have that very situation happen to you. I've got an example clip for you today where I get double headshot by a Tommy gun, and your time to kill that you're looking at here in terms of how it's actually in real life when not slowed down is roughly about 100 milliseconds below what the actual average human can react. And because they haven't changed the headshot multiplier, instead just the upper body multiplier and all the rest of the multipliers, this can actually still happen. So the most frustrating deaths in close encounter combat that are not caused by actual bugs in terms of netcode have not actually been fixed by this patch. Instead, you've just removed legitimate 4-shot body shot, but that alone wouldn't really be too much of a problem in my personal opinion. I actually like the slightly slower time to kill within 10 meters. But that's where I draw the distinction from DICE, because they haven't just shifted time to kill by removing the 4-bullet kill of automatic weapons in close encounter combat. No, they've shifted bullets to kill across the board, and at medium and long range, where the percentage of shots that you actually hit and consequently your time to kill was already longer, these changes are absolutely unwelcome and are more into the direction of what we saw in Battlefield 1 than what we really wanted from Battlefield 5. Flexible weapons that were able to engage at all engagement distances within a certain reasonability, within a certain margin. Most specifically, I find very troubling how some of the weapon categories are now just simply uncompetitive. The Turner SMLE doesn't make sense to use, really just doesn't if you're looking at a 5-bullet to kill and an 11-shot magazine at 68 meters and out. You're going to get sniped to bits, for a matter of fact, with most of these semi-automatic rifles. Even the Gewehr 43 and Selbstland 1916, with a 4-bullet kill from 39 meters, which is still considered medium range, are simply uncompetitive compared to something like an assault rifle or LMG now at medium range. Those two, of course, have also lost damage, and again, I disagree with that as well, but they at least are still fully automatic weapons that can AD spam, that can strafe, and can just basically point and click versus having to place each shot accurately. In terms of the SMGs and self-loading rifles, not the semi-automatic rifles, the nerf is frankly catastrophic as far as I'm concerned. For those that remember, the Battlefield 1 time to kill upgrade, or reduction in time to kill, benefited the weapons most that had a lower fire rate. That's simply a percentage consequence of how damage works and how the weapons work. In essence, the lower the fire rate, if you decrease the number of bullets needed to kill, larger the actual gain in time to kill. The opposite, however, is also true, and thus the SMGs, the slow-firing SMGs, and the slow-firing self-loading rifles, which are all of these self-loading rifles, are affected most by this change in bullets to kill. The SMGs are now, frankly, just simply, again, been nerfed further than the LMGs, MMGs, and assault rifles have, and they were already still underpowered. There is once again absolutely no reason to be using any of the SMGs other than the Suomi or the Thompson for anything but goodwill or challenges, because all of the medics SMGs but those two are simply not competitive to something like an assault rifle, an LMG, or even the very harshly nerfed semi-automatic rifles. In terms of these self-loading rifles, these were already worse than they were in Battlefield 1, and that's saying something given that all the other weapons previously had a time to kill upgrade coming over to Battlefield 5. I'm talking here mostly about weapons like the SMGs, LMGs, and of course assault rifles. They all got a time to kill upgrade thanks to lower bullets to kill and generally also higher fire rates, whereas the self-loading rifles actually got a reduction in their effective damage compared to Battlefield 1. So we're looking at a 3-shot kill roughly around from 40-50 meters with the RSC in Battlefield 5 versus 70 something in Battlefield 1. Now, thanks to the inconsistency that these weapons have in terms of whether they need a 2 or 3 shot kill if they accidentally hit the lower body or an arm or an extremity or everything else but the head or body shot, these weapons are even tougher to rely on and even tougher to use, and in my opinion completely uncompetitive in terms of raw time to kill, and absolutely useless in summary therefore. So where does this leave us in terms of time to kill, and what needs to be done to fix this mess? Well, first of all, DICE needs to go back on what they've done completely. Then they need to fix SMGs by extending their 4 or 5 shot kill depending on if they opt for a 4 or 5 shot kill in close quarters. I wouldn't mind the 5 shot kill model as long as nothing else changes in close encounter combat, but I'm also happy with the 4 shot kill model that we had. Then they need to go and fix self-loading rifles because they frankly need to have a longer 2-shot kill range in order to be competitive to some of the other weapons out there. And then if they actually want to reduce the frustrating deaths that we are facing in this game, they have to A, fix their goddamn neck code. As the example I was showing you earlier, I actually had 6 shots placed into my enemy in that clip before he killed me, or at least so it looks no matter how slow I play it. That would obviously, no matter the damage model, be plenty to take that target out, but you'll see he has actually killed me and I have not gotten the kill, instead only doing 84 damage, which is a bit strange. What they also need to do, and is also exemplified by that clip, is they need to reduce the headshot multiplier, at least for close encounter combat. In my opinion, the best way to structure this is to have a headshot multiplier for all weapons, but obviously the bolt action rifles, that is at, say, 1.5 in close encounter combat, so it doesn't reward this random spraying and getting lucky with a headshot too much, but at medium longer ranges, let's say from 35, maybe 50 meters onwards, returns to its 2.0 multiplier, where being accurate and paying attention to be able to get that headshot is far more feasible of a task given the kind of engagement you're facing at those engagement distances. So all in all, to summarize, DICE, you better undo what you've done, because this shitstorm is real and people are angry, and for very good reason. The changes made don't make sense in any fashion, and very little here is actually positive or improving my gameplay experience. There's legitimate ways that we have talked about in this video that can help address these kind of issues that we're looking at currently in terms of time to death, but blanket nerfing time to kill is definitely not one of them. Now, I'd love to hear your opinion on this matter, so leave your experiences and, of course, video suggestions down below in the comments, or hit me up with them on Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful or interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or share it out there on the interwebs. And with all that being said, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next Battlefield 5 video.